Hello and welcome to another episode of How Are You Holding Up? A mental health podcast by the depressed for the depressed. I'm Lindsey.
And I'm Chris.
And the first question I want to ask is, Chris, how are you holding up?
I'm headachy and tired and stressed, but I feel really, really good because I got to do a thing yesterday that I've been working towards for many years. And I kicked ass and took names.
Oh, good.
So that's part of of the secret job, but that I can't talk about. But just know that what I did, I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and I feel very good that I did it.
That's wonderful.
Linz, how are you holding up?
I think I'm a little bit sick, and I'm really, really stressed because health insurance has been difficult, and health problems have been difficult, and I haven't had any time to deal with certain things, which leads us to what we are talking about today.
Being overworked.
Yes, being overworked.
And just overwhelmed in general, I think, can also kind of apply to this.
And how to take care of yourself during this. And sometimes being overworked isn't, like, fiscally a bad thing.
No, I mean...
and I'm thankful, like, for me, which has been really positive of working this much, is I feel really secure financially, but also it keeps me from sitting around and really thinking about, like, bad things or not getting things done and feeling guilty about those things.
Yep.
Like, I actually had anxiety. This was my first day off in a little while. We've been working 10-hour days for the past 5 days.
Not including commutes and stuff.
Yeah, so altogether, like, 14-hour days. Because, like, 11 hours at work, minimal, with the lunch and everything. And I had today off, and I had a lot of anxiety about it, because it was like, well, what am I going to do with all that time? Ended up that I slept a lot and did a face mask.
Nice.
And got insurance, I hope. Covered California is closed on the weekends, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
I have been similarly, like, overworked. And more importantly, I think I also have realized that I haven't been on an actual vacation in my life. I'm going to say probably close to my life. It's one of those things where I've worked constantly. I had a full-time job for 10 years that I hated, and then after that, then I got into a full-time job that I love, but the idea of me, like, going somewhere on a trip and, like, not working, I think I've only done a grand total in 31 years of living 3 or 4 times that I can count.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's kind of wearing on me.
Yeah, I bet.
A little bit.
We were also told that, that I might be working straight, no weekends, until the 1st. So today was my first day off in however many days, working long hours, and then tomorrow I go right back to work, 7 a.m. And so what are the problems that we deal with when this starts to happen? So at first I start off really strong. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get all this work, gonna get the overtime in, gonna be able to see people I really like, get to do a job I really feel appreciated for. Hooray!
Yeah, it's actually really encouraging when you finally get to, like, do stuff that you ultimately you feel really good about. Like, it's work that you enjoy doing, and you're pumped to get there, and you're pumped to do the work.
Yeah.
But after a certain amount of time...
So LA has traffic.
Yeah. We're only the 5th worst traffic city in the country.
Yeah. So, like, after work, after being there for 10 hours, 11 hours, technically, I get to sit in traffic for about an hour and a half of just red lights all the way home, just bumper to bumper.
Yep.
And it's like... You do that, and then by the time you get home, it's like, almost 8, and you kind of drag yourself in, and you kind of either make something. I haven't been eating dinners. I've been so tired. And, like, you shower, you crawl into bed, or you're like, well, maybe I should watch something, or I don't know. But then you have to get up and, like, basically 6 hours.
And you're staring at a screen the whole time.
Yeah, so I'm on the screen all the time. So like my eyes, I don't want to play video games when I get home, and I don't want to like watch movies when I get home because I've been on a screen all day, but I'm too tired to actually do anything.
Yeah. So it comes into an issue of just like you're running out of time. Ultimately, like you have no time to take care of yourself. You have no time to take care of
Your things
that you need
your
to do.
room.
I had my first
laundry.
day. I had my first day today where I was like, "Oh, I can do laundry. I can go ahead and do all sorts of crazy shit. Like I can go run errands and help my grandma with things." And it's like, "Oh, good. Well, that ate up my day."
It's hard for me with having a dog because I don't get to see him.
Mm-mm.
It's not fair for him to live in an apartment by himself, basically with nobody to take care of him. So I've been leaving him with my mom, who has 2 other little dogs, a doggy door, big backyard. She makes him like scrambled eggs every day. I mean, he's super, super pampered, and I'm so grateful that there's a place for him. But I miss him every day, and I feel guilty, and I'm tired, and I cry when I think about it. And I started realizing by the end of this week, I started off the week strong and feeling pretty good and confident. By the end of the week, I was like crying randomly throughout the day, and not like sobbing or anything, just like these weird, like I'd get kind of weepy, or like a commercial would make me kind of emotional. And I was like, I don't think I'm sleeping enough.
I have totally been there. Like I get to a point where my day-to-day like feeling is just this is going to be an obscure kind of thought reference, but if you ever watch Star Trek The Next Generation, there is an ever-present background hum on the Starship Enterprise. It's present on every single scene, and you can hear it if you're really paying attention. That is what is going on in my brain at a constant level after a while of just like, all I hear in my head is it's almost like I left the phone off the receiver in my head,
right.
And there's no connection between my brain and the rest of my body.
Yeah. And, everybody, and you kind of start forgetting that everybody is starting. You're all on a ship together where everyone's doing these 10-hour days. So other people are starting to get a little bit testy, and people are starting to react to things that they wouldn't have reacted to before.
Frustrations start coming out, and it becomes a lot more difficult for you to have interpersonal relationships of any kind.
Yes. Unfortunately for me, that has evolved into like being told off by somebody who I live with that our friendship is dead because we moved in together. And I was like, well, maybe I'm just working a lot and you never reach out to me. And that didn't really go over well. So yeah. So the good thing is, though, there are people who can be a support system for you if you are overworking a lot. Like, I know we all go through... Wow, I'm having brain fuzz right now. Yeah,
no, right? I think we're both in that same level. This is key example of like what this kind of overworking will do to you. Is we have all of our notes in front of us, right? Like we have all the stuff we want to talk about, but we're both in that headspace of just like, what?
Yeah. So basically, some of my personal friendships have fallen through. Because you have to, basically, it's like how many plates can you keep up at a time, right? Like you're doing a juggling trick, or you're trying to keep everything up in the air, and eventually something's going to come back down. So you have to start figuring out what are you going to do and what are you going to sacrifice each day to make sure that you're getting what you need.
So this was an analogy that was given to me, and I'm trying to remember who it was that gave it to me, but there is a concept called the 5 light bulbs, and I don't even know if I've talked about this in the past.
I don't think you have.
If I have, please forgive me, guys, but if I haven't, the idea is you are a battery, and you have 5 light bulbs in your life. They each require a certain amount of energy to keep on. You have your work light bulb, your family light bulb, your romantic relationship light bulb, your your health light bulb, and your friend light bulb. All of these light bulbs require energy. Some require more energy than others, but you are only a 12-volt battery, so you have 12 volts to give out. in this case, when you are giving, like, at least 6 to 8 volts to your friggin' work battery, like your work light bulb, you are not going to be able to give anywhere near enough to the other light bulbs. They're going to go dim or they're going to just die out.
Yeah, and like that. So some of the other things that starts happening, for example, with that is like you don't eat maybe necessarily really well because you don't have time to go grocery shopping, for example. So you just eat while you're at the job, and that means the shit that's in the vending machines. That means like expensive stuff, super expensive. Like every meal is, you know, over $12 just for something little that's, you know, doesn't last.
Yeah,
and
or it's really shit food that's really quick and really like fast to get because you got to get back in there.
And you know, and if you're at an office desk where you're just sitting all the time, like your back's ruined, you're not in shape because you're eating garbage and your body's just kind of not being utilized in any way. But another thing that's also been happening for me is like little things. The first few days were fine, but then by the end, like something little would happen, and I had to remember that saying of, was it 5 bad seconds of a day? Like something bad happened to you just for like 5 minutes or something? Or was it really your whole day was bad? Because I don't want to let my whole day be ruined over something little that frustrated me or something that somebody said that I just took the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know? And like I've had this really bad habit of I get upset, and then once I have that train going, I'm just like the rest of the day is ruined. And I'm trying really hard to not make excuse and be like, no, Lindsay, like you can be upset right now, but then you gotta let it go, girl. You gotta just let it go. So what do we do personally, Chris? What do you do to deal?
So one of the things that I've found very helpful, and this is something that I have to now constantly remind myself, it's literally take any moments that are downtime. Take them and hoard them like precious diamonds. Take those moments to do something for yourself, whether it's meditate, listen to a song that you really like, something, anything that like makes you feel good and makes you feel healthy, because the rest of the time you are going to feel the weight on your shoulders. And so any little moment, any little second that you can have to just breathe freely, you gotta take them. You can't have any downtime where it's just like you're not doing anything unless that's helping you.
I mean, and for me, I think in those times, like because my social situations, like people are asking to hang out or to talk, don't forget it's okay to say no.
Yeah.
You need downtime. You need to make space for that downtime. Like you said, you need to hoard it. You need to protect it. You have like an evening and your friends are like, hey, come out, party, like let's go to a bar. You got 6 more days of overtime coming up. You better say no.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I hate, like, that's one of the things.
Or go home early.
Oh, God.
You know, like, go out for an hour or something and then go home.
I hate so much when it's like, I want to spend time with people because, as we've discussed in the past episodes, I get the majority of my energy from being around people.
Yeah.
I get recharged when I get to go out, when I get to have fun with my friends, and I enjoy the time with them. But there are some nights where I'm like, I used to be known for like, I'll go out and I will be out until like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and I'll be there at 7 a.m. bright and chipper. I'll be fine. I can do that. I can't do that anymore.
No.
I absolutely cannot. It is taking its toll on me, and I feel it every day. Today was the first day I slept in. And sleeping in to me was like, I woke up at 9:30.
I woke up at 7:30. I was like, I'm so rested.
Oh my God.
Because I went to bed at like 9:30 last night.
Oh my God. I went to bed at like 11:30, I think. So
I couldn't stay awake.
Oh.
I think something that helped me a long time ago, my aunt sat me down and was like, okay, get a piece of paper and draw a bunch of little like sections and put every little section of your life in them. So spiritual, physical, your car, your room, your like, you know, chores, family, friends, like whatever you like, or just put them together, put social. And then list the things that you need to do in each section to take care of those things. And then that way you have them in front of you. For me, that really helped. And then for this job, it's helped because I can't do all of those things every day.
No.
I can't take care of everything.
No.
But throughout the week, I can kind of like figure out, well, what am I going to do tomorrow? Well, I had a really rough week, so I'm going to go out with 2 coworkers, and we're going to have a drink after work, wait for the traffic to die down, kind of have some downtime, and then go home. Or I'm going to go straight home and go straight to bed. I'm not going to do anything else. Or, you know.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, absolutely. It's like something like go home and like read. Or...
Go, especially, oh yeah, when you've been staring at a screen all day, you mentioned this before we started recording, but like just being able to read a book, not staring
look
at
a screen. You know, because all of our books are on our phones and stuff. And so I was just craving holding a book, smelling the pages, which is weird, but like you can smell them when you turn them, and then reading on paper and not having it backlit, having a screen. That was something that I'd miss. And that was something that was like little things, little self-care things. We have breaks during the day, you know, instead of like going down to the store, I would just stay and read the comic book.
I've been trying to go outside a little more.
Get some vitamin D.
Or just some fresh air.
Yeah, some just not office air.
Oh my god. It's so, when it's air conditioned all the time and you're just like, I need to smell dirt. I just want to smell a tree. Anything that is a change in senses. Because like, when you're in a brightly lit room for 10 hours a day plus, like, any change in sensory, like assault on your eyes, your ears, your everything.
You need peace. You need to really find your peace, whatever that is going to be. Sometimes that means being a little bit more stressed out in the moment. So I hate grocery shopping. I hate it. I don't want to meal prep. I don't want to do any of that shit. But I knew I had to for this past week because I knew I had to be bringing in food that was healthy, and I knew I needed to not spend money on it. And it really helped because Chris was like, hey, I will go with you and we can meal prep and we can kind of figure out together. And so last week, on our only day off that I'd had in a long time, last week, we went together and we got groceries and we prepared. And I actually, when I was meal prepping, or actually cooking the food, I went home for it, and I called Ren, who was my best friend, who was meal prepping at the same time. So like having the support system of like 3 people who were doing the same thing, and we're all kind of, you know, and that brings us to having a support system, because I think some people won't understand. So and they will resent you for being busy and taking time for yourself. They won't understand it. It's the worst. I hate that. It makes me feel so bad.
Yeah. When you have a support system that is not supporting you, that's just dead weight, guys.
And that took me a long time to figure out, like, if they're not giving back to you, and they're making your life more stressful, and you're working overtime to please people, then those aren't the people. Like, your life should be peaceful with your friends and your relationships. Usually, I mean, things come up, but let life bring drama in. Don't create drama in your relationships.
No.
You know?
Yeah, you don't have to be the manufacturer of your own demise, basically. It's such a pain to deal with that. So find yourself some good people. There are definitely people out there.
Because sometimes they're not who you think they're going to be.
Oh, hell no. Sometimes they're the last person you expect.
Yeah.
But sometimes those are the people you need. Because if you just surround yourself with people who are only there to have you as some sort of commodity, which is the worst feeling in the world. Like there's some sort of keeper for you, and you are this property, this entertainment, if you would. It's hard to feel any sense of self-respect, let alone self-care.
Yeah, I find myself chasing friendships, and that's been something that I've had to work on, letting go of people who aren't there for me 100%. And I like having very, very deep friendships. I like having people who really genuinely care. And I don't need you there 100% of the time, all the time, because you have a life.
Yeah,
But also, like, dropping off for months and months and then not ever reaching out, but I'm always the one making the plans. I mean, that's hard. But anyway, I digress.
It comes kind of with the territory of just, like... Your support system is such an important thing to kind of nurture and care about. And because it's not just your support system for you. Your support system is for everyone in your support system. Yeah. You are caring for them, and they are caring for each other. And it really, if you can find that balance. Yeah. Oh, my God.
And if you don't have a support system...
really caring for yourself.
Taking care of yourself first and starting to kind of work at finding that for yourself. Like making that a priority in your life of thinking of the people who've been there. Maybe the people that you wouldn't think of right off the bat, but like, wow, that person's actually always been there for me, and they've made plans with me, and I didn't really reciprocate. Maybe that's a person that I should be focusing on as, you know, and like, and when you have depression, you forget that people love you and people want to be in your life. And especially if you're overworked and you're just exhausted all the time and you're in this weird, like, twilight, you forget that people, you know, they want to be there for you. And it was a good example for me with my best friend. We're both working a lot right now. And we weren't getting along. Like, we would say things in a way that would hurt each other. And I was really proud of us because we had to, like, have uncomfortable talks almost every day. Be like, hey, this hurt my feeling. Why'd you say it this way? Blah, 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 blah. But being able to trust that it would be worked out.
Yeah.
Like, you can be unhappy with something in the moment, but it'll be worked out later. That's a good support person.
In a romantic relationship sense, because, yeah, there comes a separate set of difficulties when you are working a lot and you're barely seeing the person that you're in a romantic relationship with.
Yeah.
It really can, because you want to see that person as much as possible. Obviously, if you live together, it's even more stressful. Because, I mean, it's something I've experienced firsthand when I would work, you know, I worked 20-hour days sometime where I would work a graveyard shift at a hotel and then work at the other job, and I would be there for 9, 10, 12, 14 hours sometimes. That's a full 24-hour day where I'm not there.
Yeah.
Or I'm gone, and when I come back, I'm a zombie.
Yeah, you need downtime and sleep.
I need downtime, sleep, and I need to be left the fuck alone.
Yeah.
And that's not something that my partner at the time was used to. But I had to, like, I would just do everything in my power. I would open a vein practically just to, like, okay, here, I'm awake, I'm alive, I'm here for you. Just, what do you need? Please just let me die.
Yeah.
Let me die.
In that experience, though, I feel like then it's the partner needs to be
more accepting. And that's also, hey, guess what? We'll have an episode on codependency one of these days. That's gonna be a rip roaring good time.
Right.
So,
yay.
But seriously, in a healthy relationship, your partner will understand that what you're doing right now as part of your job or your, you know, just your career in general, it does matter to you. It's important to you. It's something you care about. And you should be able to have a relationship with someone who respects that, supports that, and when you are able to, you can give that right back to them.
Yeah, the last thing you need is someone giving you shit for working your ass off.
Yeah.
And being tired.
Yeah, because you're doing that not just for you, you're doing that for them.
Yeah.
You want to be able to support yourself. You want to be able to support others. Like, you're not in some, you know, amazing magical future where nothing costs money.
Yeah.
Money's there.
And I think that's another thing, is giving yourself emotional space to be not happy all the time or energized all the time, and like not throwing extra guilt onto the plate of dealing with being overworked. And, you know, that can be hard.
Yeah.
But
just putting it mildly.
But you practice it.
Yeah.
It's something like anything else. You practice good habits. You practice being good to yourself. You practice good communication with coworkers. You practice.
Yes. Yeah, and you really, like, you can get tunnel vision so easily in an overworking situation.
Yeah. Where
nothing else in the world will seemingly exist for you.
Yeah.
You have to be able to take those blinders off at some point because, like, I know this happens for me a lot. I'm sure it happens for you too. You're off work, you go home, and what are you thinking about? Work. Yeah. You're still thinking about work. You're still there. Your brain is gonna stay there for hours. You gotta shift that focus.
Yeah, reading helps me, like I said.
Yeah.
Audiobook. There's so many audiobooks, you guys, on YouTube for free. It's insane. And there's a lot of classics that I wish I would have read in high school.
Yeah. And
so
also,
I'm, like, catching up.
And I know that there are some astute listeners right now that think that this is a lead-in to, like, a plug from Audible or something. Sorry, they haven't called us yet, so...
Yeah, no, we're not sponsored in any way. We have no money.
Hey, Audible, give us a call, though. So, on that note, though...
Also, ask for help when you need it.
Yes, please. Yeah. Ask for help. You guys, we were talking about your support groups and everything. That could include any number of people, not just friends. It could be family. It could be your therapist.
Yep.
Which
I had to go to therapy. I had to go back. I just paid her cash. I didn't have any insurance. I was like, I need to go back because I was not doing super great. I was deteriorating, as some of you might have heard if you're a regular. So yeah.
How'd that go?
Great. I felt like a queen after leaving her. So.
My therapy journey has been going pretty well. I'm very interested to go back this week, and because I'm supposed to have read a book. I need to get started on that.
Oh, there you go. Also, your self-care is not the same as somebody else's self-care.
Yes.
So actually, I have a coworker that was like, oh yeah, you know what though, I think I'm actually going to take this day and this day off because I have some things I need to do. And I was like, really? You're going to take those days off? Because that's a lot of money and that's overtime that won't kick in. And then I was like, no. This person has a boundary. This person is saying that they need this. And like, you can give advice if they ask for it, but you don't need to tell him that he's doing the wrong thing, Lindsey. I always feel like I know best. I do not, in fact, always know best.
Sometimes we
I just get like Mama, like Mama Bear. I want to like take care of and help people. And well, listen here, it's just for a few weeks. You should just be able to do, constant work all the time.
Yeah, just
drive yourself into the ground.
Just grin and bear it. It's fine. No, not fine.
Always.
No,
not always.
Sometimes we run ourselves into the ground, and when we do that, we gotta wait until we grow into a tree again.
Yeah.
That's a weird phrase, but you know what? I just made it up. And
it's okay. Care. We're exhausted.
We are absolutely exhausted.
But we're thankful that you tuned in.
Yes. Thank you guys for listening, as always.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram at HAYHU Podcast. Like the Facebook page. And if you want to send us something directly, go ahead and email mailbag@HowAreYouHoldingUp.com. And go check out the subreddit.
Yes. Go check out the subreddit. Again, always thank you so much for messaging us. It lightens up our day. Makes me smile every time. So I hope you guys are doing well. And as always,
don't tell us to just get over it.